Welcome to Understand Chemistry. This is Dr. Bilal. In this video, I will talk about structure and nomenclature of polymers. A polymer is defined as a substance consisting of molecules that are characterized by multiple repetitions of one or more species of atoms or group of atoms, also called constitutional units or smallest building block of polymer. Let me explain with the help of example of polyvinyl chloride. If we look at the structure of polyvinyl chloride, we came to know that there are three constitutional units. But the constitutional units highlighted in green describes the polymer constitution precisely and completely. This is called constitutional repeating unit. Let us take another example. This is the structure of polyamide, which is synthesized by polycondensation reaction of sipazic acid and hexane diamine. The common name of this polymer is nylon 610, as it is obtained by the reaction of 6 carbon chain diamine and 10 carbon containing diacid, namely sibacic acid. Here we see several groups of atom, that is constitutional units, but the part of polymer highlighted in green is the constitutional repeating unit. Now the question is how to name a polymer. Naming a polymer is straightforward. All we need to do is add the prefix poly to the name of the monomer from which the polymer is derived. For example, the polymer obtained from propylene will be polypropylene. Similarly, the polymer obtained from vinyl chloride will be polyvinyl chloride. In similar fashion, the polymer obtained from acrylonitrile will be polyacrylonitrile. People often get confused about whether CH2 double bond CH is a vinyl group or an acryl group. The simplest way to recognize when to say vinyl or acryl is to observe the element to which the methane or the CH group is attached. If it is attached to carbon, then it is called an acryl group, as seen in the example of acrylonitrile. If it is attached to another element like oxygen, nitrogen, or a halogen, then it is considered a vinyl group, as in the case of vinyl chloride. Here are some more examples of molecule containing vinyl group. These are vinyl acetate, vinyl alcohol, vinyl methyl ether, and vinyl sulfonic acid. The examples of acryl group containing monomer include acrylic acid, acrylamide, methyl acrylate, methyl methacrylate. As I told you before, the name of polymer is obtained by just adding the prefix poly to the name of the monomer. Following this way, the name of polymer from these monomers will be polyvinyl acetate, polyvinyl alcohol, polyvinyl methyl ether, and so on. Keep in mind, these are examples of polymers known by their common names. Actually, there are two methods for naming the polymer: common name method and IUPAC method. Common names are simpler and often derived from the trade name, historical names, or general characteristics of the polymer. For example, nylon 66, as it is made up of 6 carbon containing diamine and dicarboxylic acid. On the other hand, IUPAC name stick to a systematic and standardized nomenclature defined by the International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry, provide precise representation of the structure of polymer. They are crucial in scientific and technical context, ensuring clear communication. For example, the IUPAC name for nylon 66 is polyhexamethylene adipamide, and following more strict nomenclature rule, it will be polyamino 1-oxohexamethylene amino 1-oxodipoyl. But don't worry, these long polymer names are mostly for those studying advanced polymer chemistry. In most cases, only simple and common names are used. Also in videos, I will mostly use common names. Here are some examples of most famous polymers along with their common and IUPAC name and structures. The first one in the table is polyethylene. Then comes polytetrafluoroethylene, also known by its trade name Teflon. Similarly, we have polypropylene, polyisobutylene, polybutadiene, also known as butadiene rubber, polyisoprene, also known as isoprene rubber or natural rubber. Naturally, it is obtained from Hevea brasiliensis tree. The next polymer in my list is polyvinyl chloride, which is widely used in construction of pipes. Then we have polyacrylonitrile, polyacrylic acid, polyvinyl acetate. All these polymers can directly be synthesized from their monomer. And what about polyvinyl alcohol? What do you think? What will be the monomer for polyvinyl alcohol? Is it vinyl alcohol? No. Vinyl alcohol is not a suitable molecule as it cannot be isolated and subject to polymerization. Vinyl alcohol can rearrange itself with a process called tautomerism to acetaldehyde. It is actually synthesized from polyvinyl acetate by cleaving the ester bond in basic or alkaline conditions. I will upload soon a detailed video on synthesis of polyvinyl alcohol. Next we have here polymethacrylate, polymethyl methacrylate, polystyrene. If you have any question regarding this topic, please write in comment box. These are all the examples of polymer that are obtained from one type of monomer. Polymers are also synthesized by reaction between two different monomers through the condensation polymerization. For example, hexamethylene diamine and adipic acid are combined through condensation polymerization to give polymer called polyhexamethylene adipamide or Nylon 6,6. Similarly, hexamethylene diamine combined with 10 carbon containing dicarboxylic acid, namely sebacic acid, through condensation polymerization to give polyhexamethylene sebacamide or Nylon 6,10. These types of polymers fall into a separate class called polyamides, as amide links are present as highlighted here. Polyamide not always obtained from two types of monomer, instead they can be obtained from ring opening polymerization of cyclic monomers. Consider the example of caprolactam or epsilon caprolactam, which is a 6-carbon cyclic amide that on ring opening polymerization produced polyamide called polycaprolactam or Nylon 6. A similar class of polymer are polyesters. They are the polymer that are produced by condensation polymerization of dicarboxylic acid and dialcohols. For example, ethylene glycol and terephthalic acid are combined to give polyethylene terephthalate, or in short form it is called PET. It is widely used in beverage bottles like mineral water bottles and food packaging. Another example of polyester is polybutylene adipate, which is obtained by condensation polymerization of butane diol and adipic acid. Like polyamides, polyesters can also be synthesized by ring opening polymerization of cyclic monomers. For example, caprolactone or epsilon caprolactone, which is 6-membered cyclic ester, which on ring opening polymerization give polycaprolactone. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, do not forget to like and share. If you have any question, drop them in the comment box.